Coming up on Michigan Replay. Oh, those darn Ducks. Oregon upsets Michigan out west. We'll have the highlights. We'll also talk with a former quarterback turned tight end who's making a mark as a blocker. And we'll preview the Big Ten opener as we scout the Indiana Hoosiers. All that and more coming up next. Michigan Replay with Lloyd Carr is brought to you in part by Abso-Pure Water, delivering quality bottled water since 1908. By Fifth Third Bank, working hard to be the only bank you'll ever need. And by State Farm, providing insurance and financial services. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Michigan Replay. Well, one of the oddest football games I've seen in a long time, at least the first quarter. Out in Eugene, Oregon, Michigan loses to Oregon 31-27. Coach, in the first quarter, you barely had the football and yet still had a lead, and it just seemed like whatever could go wrong did go wrong.
Well, Jim, we started off with an 18-play drive against our defense. They took it down to the 1-yard line. We came up with a pretty good play on third down, and then on fourth down kicked the field goal. But our defense was on the field too long. I think offensively it took us too long to get started, and we made too many mistakes in the kicking game. Oh,
there's no question that there were mistakes all over the place. It really was, when you think about it, amazing that you guys had a chance to win at the end.
Well, I think it's a tribute to our players. They never stopped fighting. They never stopped believing that they could win. And, you know, after being down and apparently out, we fought back and had a chance to win.
And let's take a look at the highlights. We start with the first quarter. Of course, it was a beautiful day in Oregon, but their quarterback, Kellen Clements, did a nice job scrambling against some pretty good pressure.
Well, he made a couple of plays in this drive that kept the drive alive. There's one on third down, and now first down. And here on a fourth down play, hits a tight end. Got away from us on man-to-man coverage, and they got first and goal inside the 5.
And here's a big play. You stop him on the option. He did not get in to score, and they're forced to kick the field goal. And this is the big play that you really turned things around on.
Well, we saw something here. We worked hard. Marlon Jackson came through, perfect execution of a block. And Jeremy LeSueur makes a heads-up play. He didn't kick the ball. He took his time and took this ball to Jim, and we got the lead, which after the quarter we've just been through was an unbelievable turnaround for us.
6-0 at that point after a missed extra point. They come back in their next possession. And again, they hit a pass here, but you are able to stop them. The problem is you're not able to do anything offensively.
Well, Jim, Oregon did a tremendous job against our running game. We did not run the football well at any point in this game, and certainly not in the first half. They hit a screen pass here, good yardage. But our corners, we did a good job against the big play potential that Oregon had. But on this drive, they did hit 3 plays of one was 19 and 17. And now here they hit a big pass down to the 19-yard line. And then they hit the off-tackle play. We have a guy down in there, but he can't make the tackle. And then Marlon is a little bit too far back to make an open field tackle, and now they got the lead.
They got the lead at 7-6, and then one of the things that, again, you get one big play out of here to get the offense going.
Well, that's a great individual effort by Braylon Edwards. John stood up. We had good protection, but then we stall, and we try a fake punt here, Jim, that does not work. And I call that play because our defense had been on the field for 26-some plays in the first quarter. And here they hit the tight end again in man-to-man coverage. And now a play that really concerns me is they run the option in 19 yards unblocked. Now to take the lead 14-6.
14-6, and you did the fake punt just because you were concerned your defense was too gassed at that
Jim,
point.
yeah, there isn't any question, and I felt it would, the momentum could help us, but you know, sometimes they don't work, and sometimes they do, and that one didn't work.
Then they return a punt with about halfway through the second quarter, and they go up 21-6 at halftime. And at that point, it's like, again, special teams is kind of broken down. The defense is giving up long drives. You got to go in at halftime and go, you know, we're down 2 scores. You know, it could be worse. Maybe we're not as bad off as we think.
Well, we certainly didn't believe that we were out of that football game. There was a lot of time. We just had to shore up our defense and shore up our offense and shore up our kicking game.
We'll be back and we'll take a look at the second half highlights. But first we hear from Jason Avant, who said it was an uphill struggle all day long in Eugene.
Oh, man, this team, we are still a good team. We just wanted to win, man. It hurt to lose like we did. Going out when we were driving so good and things just went down here every time we went up. It made something good happen, something bad seemed to happen. Whether if it was a ref call or a drop pass or punt protection or anything, something just bad just started to happen. And we just wasn't meant for us to win today.
Now the Les Stanford Chevrolet Locker Room Report.
Man, it was tough. We made mistakes, and we gotta just, I don't know, just gotta go back, look at the film and work on it. You know, we didn't play well on defense. We didn't play well as a team. So we just gotta come back and play hard.
Wolverines trailed at Oregon 21-6 at halftime. Got the ball to begin the second half. We couldn't do anything with it. And they came out and started to go again offensively.
Well, they had good field position after we couldn't do anything with it. And here he hits the open receiver. And they're moving again, Jim. Here we come up with a big play on third down. And now Oregon's going to try a field goal.
And they're able to kick it through. Siegel does. And at this point, it's a 24-6 game. And of course, worst possible scenario, that crowd gets loud. But the one thing that you guys do is you stay with it, and you get a great kick here from Finley that pins them deep and starts to turn momentum.
Well, Adam did come up with a great individual play here, good coverage. And, you know, for the first time in this game, Jim, our offense is going to have good field position.
And a 3rd and 8, your defense gets after him again and stops this guy short of a first down, and you get good field position. And then you finally convert.
Well, good protection here. John steps up and hits Jason Avon, who had an outstanding day catching the football. And Jason is one of those young guys, gets better every game.
24-13 at that point. We go to the 3rd, and here's a long pass where I thought should have been offensive interference, but it wasn't called. They get a big play, but your defense still comes up here in a 2nd goal. You stop them short, force them to go for the field goal.
Good flow to the ball, and this was the last play, I think, of the 3rd quarter. And then Oregon tries a fake field goal that doesn't work. And Jim, that gave us some life. Even though we get the ball now on our own 2-yard line, we put together just an absolutely outstanding drive.
This is without question the best drive of the day.
Yes, it was. And Braylon makes a good catch here and gets up the field. And John steps up, good protection, hits Jason Avant. We're on the move, and we're doing it in a hurry. And there's plenty of time.
Lots of time left. And again, I can't say enough about the protection. There's an unblocked man. Navarre just makes a great throw.
Well, he hit Steve Breston, and John has done that all year long. The one thing this guy is, he is tough, and he stood in there and taken some shots and delivered the football.
There's another big play there. That's a 4th down completion on 4th and 12 to keep that drive alive.
Great play by Braylon Edwards, concentration to catch the ball in the crowd. And Steve Breston here comes up, gets open in man-to-man coverage and catches a touchdown.
Now you go for 2 and Braylon Edwards gets in.
Well, a well-designed play, and Braylon makes a great individual effort there, breaks the plane. And Jim, look at 11 minutes to go, and we're down by 3.
24-21, back in the ball game after having everything almost go wrong. And here you get a big sack. The defense steps up. First sack of the day.
Well, we're playing hard, and we played very well in the second half on defense.
And here you get stuck down your own end, but again, a good pass from John Navarre to Avant. This play here, it hurts big time.
Well, we got a sack, and then the punt. We get knocked back into the kicker, and they take now a 10-point lead.
At this point, it's 31-21 after that, and yet amazingly, you guys come back again.
Well, Jim, there wasn't a guy down there who didn't think we were going to win, and John makes a great throw. Steve Breston comes up with a great catch, and we're using the clock well, good protection, and we got the ball down on the 25-yard line, 5 minutes to go in the game, plenty of time.
And this throw may have been John's worst of the day.
Well, he forced it. It's first down, and if he throws that football away, we still got 3 downs. I know John would love to have it back, but it's one of those things that you don't get back.
Well, even with that, a great throw here as you continue to try to get back in this game, trailing by 10. Then you get the big play here against man coverage.
Well, Steve Breston beats his man right here, and this is a big, big play, and Jim, we still got a chance to win.
Absolutely. That makes it a 31-27 game. You missed the extra point again, and that hurts because this follows. You get the onside kick and cover.
Well, Braylon makes a great play, and Braylon had a lot of big plays in this game, but coming up with that football is the only thing that would still give us a chance to win, and we get good protection here. Jason Avant Braylon makes a great catch.
Went right up over the top
What
of
a
the defender
great catch.
and took it away. And here's the 4th down play, less than 30 seconds. Actually, Braylon Edwards slips coming out of his break. Ball goes over his head, 31-27, the final. And again, considering all the things that went wrong, and it was really amazing you're still in the ball game and had a chance to win late. And that speaks to the team, and it's not quite.
Well, there's the good news about that game is that our players never stop fighting to win, but we certainly put ourselves in such a big hole, Jim, early in that game that we left no margin for error, and we made too many errors down the stretch.
And you can't do that on the road in a really hostile environment like Oregon.
Well, it was, I think that's as loud as any stadium I've been in. It was a great crowd, great day, but it just didn't go our way.
No, it didn't. 31-27, the final. The Wolverines lose their first of the year out west. Don't go away. When we come back, we'll take a look at Andy Minery, one of Michigan's fine tight ends. But first, we hear from John Navarro. Said the Wolverines just got it started too late.
And the point there is it's the last quarter and a half. We can't just wait around because in a away stadium and a tough crowd, you can't do it. And we're gonna have to, go to work. And it's a long season. We got to correct what we didn't do right.
Position changes happen all the time in college football. Well, meet former quarterback Andy Minery, now a tight end and sometimes fullback. That's a radical change, and Minery says it wasn't easy.
I mean, you have an idea about the run game at quarterback, but not near, the complexity that you have to know it as a tight end. But you're just getting after it. I mean, and you got to change your mental attitude, as you can imagine, from quarterback dropping back and trying to avoid blows where you're trying to put out blows yourself.
He sure has taken to the physical side of the change, though, but it also took a while. After 3 years at quarterback, to make the move meant starting over.
It was patience, but it's about having the opportunity and not worrying about when it comes in your career and taking full advantage of it. And that's what I take pride in myself, and taking, take advantage of your opportunity that you get. And that's what I'm trying to do as best as I can right now.
Minery comes from Hamilton, Ohio, where his father was a longtime coach. The relationship between the two of them made Andy's transition from quarterback to tight end easier.
At first, he just wanted to make sure this is what I want to do, because he already knew the process it's going to be. I mean, because I did it, some people could say it was pretty late in my career after 3 years of quarterback. He knew it was going to be tough, but he backed me up 100%. And he always was trying, and a coach, he's an ex-coach now, he just retired after 33 years, I think it was. And he's traveling to every game, and he's always just doing the extra and trying to coach me, over the phone and say, what are you doing wrong, Andy? What are you doing this? And, sometimes it gets a little aggravating, but overall, it's a fun experience, and I love my dad to death, and he's having fun traveling to every game.
The ups and downs are with every young man who plays the game. For Andy Minery, he's fought through them all and is now a major contributor. Some might wonder if it's all worth it. For Andy, that question was answered emphatically during a brief moment on the floor of Michigan Stadium against Notre Dame.
You soak it all in. You said that, and it was in the huddle. Or no, it was right after the third quarter was over, right before the fourth quarter started. We were right in the middle of that drive. We were down on about the 4-yard line. We're about to put it in. I'm hearing Tony Pape, we're looking at each other. And we're going, you know what? Just look at this. Just look at the surroundings right now. It's started fourth quarter. We're beating Notre Dame the way we are. We're about to score another touchdown. And where else would you rather be? I mean, it was just amazing just to soak it in just for a second and then get back in focus, because we had to score and that was a big drive. But just to take a moment and say what a great experience it was for a whole Michigan community on Saturday afternoon out there in that stadium. And I'm just very, I feel very good to be a part of that.
Andy Minery, former quarterback, now up front in the pit, banging away. It's tough to make that transition, but the physicalness of the difference, and I think he's done it just, what a great job.
Well, he's a great Michigan man. He's a team man. He's hardworking, dedicated, loyal. He's everything you want in a football player.
Did his dad give you any pointers?
His dad was quite a football coach. And you can tell Andy's been around the game. And certainly appreciates it.
And he met his fiancée here in Michigan.
Yeah, the daughter of
a former player.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's always fun too. We wanted to get that in, and Andy will be happy about that. So we wish him luck. He's a great young man. When we come back, we'll look ahead as Michigan heads into the Big Ten season. But first, we hear from Dave Pearson, who says there are still goals left to be achieved.
The Big Ten championship, that's what we're going out to get. And we're going to come back and we're going to have a hell of a week of practice, and we're going to get ready to go and go after this Big Ten championship.
One of the things that happens in football, and Lloyd, you've said it before, I take it from you because you've been in this business a long time. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you.
Hey, that's the way it is.
And
that's right.
They schedule a game the following week, and no matter what anybody says about this past week's game, you've got to tee it up against Indiana on Saturday.
Jim, and what we have to do is take our disappointment and channel it in a way. As Dave said there, the thing that we've got here is a Big Ten schedule coming up, and you know what it's like in that conference. So we're going to face what I think is an outstanding football coach, Jerry DiNardo. I think he's one of those guys that does a lot. Wherever he is, he gets the most out of his players.
Well, Matt LaVecchio, the quarterback, transferred from Notre Dame, so he's good. Chris Taylor's outstanding running back, and Courtney Roby's a good wide receiver. Had a little bit of an injury on Saturday, but still, if he plays, he's a big play guy.
Well, he's averaging 16 yards a catch, which is very, very impressive.
And then on defense, this has been one of their problems. They still got guys who can play. Victor Adeyanju, Josh Moore, outside linebacker, and Hernandez Jones. So there are three guys there on defense that can play a little bit. And, it's Indiana, and they haven't had a great year yet, but that doesn't matter in the Big Ten or in college football, does it?
Well, Jim, against Washington on the West Coast 2 weeks ago, in the third quarter, they had the lead. And so they lost a tough game to arch rival Kentucky on Saturday. But they'll come in and fight because that's the kind of program he's building.
And let's face it, your concern, while you will game plan and look specifically at Indiana, your concern has to be to shore up some of the difficulties that you experienced Saturday at Oregon.
Well, we made too many mistakes that are game killers, and so we have to be able to correct those mistakes. We've got a lot of work to do in the kicking game. We've got some things that we have to do better offensively and certainly defensively.
I know one of the things that you want to work on, because I know it was a focus throughout the offseason, and a focus of the offensive line was to get that running game going. It worked great for the first 3 games, and then all of a sudden it disappears. That's something as a coach you got to try to figure out where that went.
Well, Jim, I think, part of the problem is that Oregon's an outstanding defensive front. They're very big, very physical, and they're going to have an outstanding team in my judgment. But, and it took us too long. We didn't have the ball at all during the first quarter. And probably in hindsight, we should have started to throw the football sooner than we did because they had too many guys up there to block. They made up their mind they were going to put 8, 9 guys up there to stop our running game, and they did. Eventually we went to the passing game and got some points on the board, but it was not enough, and it was too late.
Well, certainly what has to happen is you got to get better against Indiana because the Big Ten season starts. The Big Ten championship, something that can get done, right?
It's on the line right here.
You bet. We'll be back. We'll talk to you all about it next week right here after we look at the Big Ten opener, Michigan versus Indiana, on Michigan Replay.
Michigan Replay has been brought to you in part by The Joy of Pepsi and by Big Boy Restaurants. Big Boy makes you say, oh boy.